And like I said, as far as the air tank and the air compressors, you can put them wherever you want. You can put them under your truck, under your car, put them in your trunk, you know, in the toolbox in the back of your truck. You can put it pretty much wherever you want. But I'm going to put mine in the back of my Tahoe. But like I said, I also haul a lot of gear in the back of my Tahoe. And, you know, the compressor, you know, they're kind of fragile. You don't want to be bashing into them, you know, throwing stuff on top of them. You know, the little relay sticking out of the front of the tank, or your gauge. You don't want to be banging off all your tents and your luggage, things like that, bouncing off there, breaking stuff, or, you know, things like that. So I'm going to build this nifty little box here and put it in the back of the Tahoe. That way all my pieces, parts are protected. I don't have to worry about breaking anything. And I'll go ahead and show you what we're looking at so far here. This is where I'm at so far. Now, try not to pick on me too much. I'm not a carpenter. I work on cars for a living. I'm not a woodworker, but I did the best I can. And this is where we're at so far. And I don't have anything bolted down yet. It's just sitting in here and nothing's wired in yet. But just to get an idea where I want everything. And now I went in and bought a bunch of extra fittings, like these little brass fittings. And I use brass for everything because, you know, you get condensation in your tank. You might get moisture. You get some rust inside the steel fittings. And I don't want any of that rust making its way to my solenoid or my horns, messing them up, things like that. I mean, it's a pretty expensive setup, so you know, why go cheap on the fittings, end up getting rust in there, ruining stuff. But these things, they're no cheap date though. These stupid elbows right here are about $9 a piece. And I used quite a few of them. I got two here. I put one in the back side, I don't know if you can see that, for the little blow-off valve, because I want to make the box as small as I could and still fit everything. And then we got another one up top. I'm going to run the air line out the back of the box for my output to my horns. And over here we're going to have the outlet pipe for my quick disconnect. And come around and got both compressors there. Go ahead and loop the lines up and in. Come around the back side, show you back here. Now this is the petcock that comes with it for draining the water out of your tank. Like I said, I'm not using that. I'm going to use that remote kit that comes with that solenoid. And you'll see why. See that thing there in the bottom of your tank? Boy, that sure would be really hard to get to, even if it wasn't in a box, but especially since I'm putting mine in this box. So, got another one of those expensive 90s down here. Got a pipe coming across. You'll notice that's a steel pipe. I haven't been able to find a brass pipe for that yet. Hopefully I can find one. If not, I might just have to use that steel pipe, but my local hardware stores didn't have a brass pipe in that length. But anyway, got that run across to my solenoid. That's going to come right through the side of the box with a 90. I'm going to hook my air line onto that, run to the drain under the truck. Now you might be thinking, those compressors are going to get pretty hot. They're not going to be able to breathe inside of this box. Well, I think I got that covered. Picked up this little 7-inch fan on Amazon. This thing blows a lot of air. Pretty cheap too, it's about 20 bucks. And we figured out exactly where I'm going to mount it yet, but I'm going to mount that somewhere in there. And we'll put some intake holes in the box, and I'm going to wire it up off a separate relay. So when the compressors kick on, it'll kick the fan on, and that'll go ahead and keep the box nice and cool, so you don't have to worry about those compressors overheating. So I just wanted to point out real quick, all these fittings I was talking about that cost so much money, you don't need those. This kit comes with everything you need to install the whole setup in your truck, your car, whatever. So I mean, this is just because I wanted to mount everything in this box, and I had a tight space, and I wanted to be able to loop the lines around, and like I said, I wanted to put an elbow there so it would fit in the box, and an elbow up there so it would go out the back, that sort of stuff. But you know, your kit comes with everything you need. You don't have to buy any of this stuff, so don't worry about that. I'm obviously doing a custom setup, so that's why I had to buy all these things, but just wanted to point that out real quick. I made some more progress on the box today. Got the carpet on there and a couple things. Got the fan all bolted in, and I just got these pipes stuck in here just so I can see how cool they're going to look up against the black carpet there. Looks pretty cool. I like that. But got some carpet on. Got the grate in for my intake there for the air. So that's where the air is going to go in and go across and out the fan. Keep the compressors nice and cool. But it's coming along pretty cool. I think it looks all right. Now I mentioned before that I wasn't a carpenter, and it turns out I'm not really an upholsterer either. But I did the best I could. I think it turned out pretty decent. This felt I used was a little thinner than I thought, so a couple spots I was a little heavy on the glue, kind of bled through a little bit. Hopefully that'll clean up a little bit once all the glue dries, but I think it turned out pretty good. Now we just got to go ahead and get it packed full of guts, put some cool stuff in there. Alright, I'm starting to get everything assembled in the box now, starting to go together and wired up a little bit. I just want to show you real quick how I'm doing the wiring, because once I get everything crammed in here, you're not going to be able to see it. And I got my wire, you know, I used wire looms, little hold down so nothing's flopping around in there. Makes it look pretty nice. A little bracket holding my solenoid nice and rigid, so, you know, if this pipe gets banged around, it's not tugging on that pipe there, but come around this side. And the same thing, I got the wire loom ran around the back. The solenoid wires I don't have done yet. Got a little relay here mounted to the box. This is going to control the fan. It's going to tie into the relay for the compressors. So when the compressors kick on, it'll turn this relay on, turn my fan on. And then I got this thing here. It actually used to be a big old fuse from an old audio amplifier setup I had. Just pulled that out, and now it's going to be the junction block for all my grounds and all my powers. So I have my main power cable going to this, and all the eyelets, like for my relays, compressors, things, go into this eyelet. And all my grounds will go onto this one, as well as my big main ground. So that'll help tie everything in real nice. And I got my wires down in here for my LEDs. The LED controller's got some Velcro. It's going to stick right down in there when I get it all wired up. But that's pretty much it. That's what it looks like so far. Like I said, I think you won't be able to see very well in there once I get all the parts in. So just kind of showing you how I did it, in case you wanted to try something like this. But that conduit definitely makes it look a lot nicer, you know, than having wires just strewn all over the place and, you know, a big ball of wires. That just doesn't look good. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get the rest of the stuff in there and show you the finished product. Alright, we got it all wired up. Just getting ready to put the back panel on. Show you what it looks like real quick before I put it on here. I got it all wired in there. Got my fuses for both compressors. This fuse over here is for my fan, little inline fuses. And like I said, I use this little block here. I got all my grounds to this stud, all my powers to this stud. And notice both those wires are red because that's what I had laying around, but I know which one's which. So anyway, we got that. You might recognize this thing right here from an old speaker box. I just pulled that out of an old speaker box. This will be my power from my ignition switch and my toggle switch up front. And this will be for the remote drain. And I got a little pass-throughs here I made out of some old bolts. Just cut them down. Use lock nuts on there. And I'll put my eyelet on, tighten it up. Made a little cover for it. The notch in there for my wire, so when I hook my power wire up, you don't have to worry about dropping anything across there, shorting it out or anything. But that's pretty much it. Pretty much all ready to go. Just got to get that back cover back on, and we'll be ready to fire this thing up. Alright, well there it is, all done. Brought it out in the daylight here so you can get a better look at it, because the lighting kind of sucks in the shop. But there it is, all mounted in there. Got the plexiglass on. Just picked up some plexiglass from Lowe's. Got some flat aluminum stock from Lowe's, and kind of cut it in there for a frame to mount it in. Countersunk the screws in, so looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Got my intake air filter here for one of the compressors. My fan. This is for the remote drain. This will just go down out the bottom of the Tahoe for when I drain the water out of the tank. Quick connect for my airline. Now I didn't end up using that remote relocation kit, at least not much of it. I just used the fitting. And I figured instead of running this out to the back of the Tahoe, this is going to be in the back anyway. I'll pop the door open, stick my line in, done deal. And around back here, this goes to the air horns, my ignition switch, my drain kit switch. Got just the two nuts for the power in the ground. Now you notice everything on here is made so that I can take this thing out quickly. You know, pop this quick connect, pop the two wires out, two nuts for the main cables, pop the drain, and I can take this whole box right out. If I ever need to haul something big in the Tahoe and this is in the way, I can just go ahead and unhook it in just about a minute, take everything out of there. Got my inlet here for the air to cool the compressors, the other air filter. And there it is. Looks pretty cool. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. There's something missing though. There we go. That's better. Now we're ready to go ahead and get this baby installed and see how she sounds. Well, there it is. Finally all mounted up, plumbed in, wired up, ready to go. See, I got a hole through the panel. That goes out through the floor for the drain. You can see back in there. Got another hole in the panel for the hose that goes to my airline. And the wiring's kind of hard to see back in there, but all wired in, ready to go. Climb up in here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. It's kind of dark in there though. Oh, but look at that. I got a remote control. Huh. There we go, it's all lit up now. Ah, but you don't like that pink, huh? No problem. Look at that. Go ahead and put it on whatever color we want. It's pretty cool. Probably a little overkill, you know, but I wanted to put LEDs in there to light it up, and this is what I had lying around, so that's what I went ahead and used. Now we can pick whatever color we want. Got a bunch of different weird random modes that, you know, I'll probably never use any of that stuff, but it's in there. There's a couple here that are pretty cool. Let's see if I can find them. There you go, that one's kind of neat. Kind of cycles through the different colors. And this one's kind of cool. It kind of blends through the colors. It's pretty neat. Like I said, it's probably overkill. I just wanted LEDs in there, but you know, this is what I had from another project I made, so works out pretty good. Now we should go ahead and fire this thing up and see how it works. Alright, the part we've been waiting for. Do they work? Have my lovely assistant here flip the switch for us. Go ahead, lovely assistant. Hey, look at that. Compressors are running. Fans are blowing. And look at that gauge, it's climbing. That's a beautiful thing. Alright, there we go. Kick right off at 150 psi, just like it's supposed to. We're ready to try these things out. Alright, first off, we'll have my assistant help me test out this remote drain kit. There we go. Works great. Now here's a really good example of why that onboard air system is such a cool deal. I just finished loading up my mud truck, getting ready to go out for the weekend, do some mudding. And after I got it all loaded up, I realized the trailer that I'm borrowing, because I'm not done building mine yet, has a low tire on the back there, which that really sucks. I'm over here in the neighbor's yard because this rig won't fit over in my yard. And there is no air compressors anywhere near here, nor an extension cord that I can plug an air compressor into. So let's go ahead and back that Tahoe on over here and try that thing out. It's that easy. Alright, we got this thing all done, ready to try it out. The only thing I have left to do is put my bumper guard and my front light bar back on, but we'll do that later because I got to paint it. But I guess you guys probably want to find out how loud this thing is. Now you notice I'm out here in the back of the field. I don't have many neighbors back there in that field, and I'm sure my neighbors up front are still going to hear it, but hopefully they won't get quite as mad out here. But well, let's go ahead and try it out, see what it sounds like. First thing, I'll have my assistant show you my puny stock horn. Ah, that's just pathetic. And now the real horn. Let's get her to blow my eardrums out. Man, that thing's loud. Echoes for about 10 seconds after it gets done. Whew, that's awesome. You know you want one of these things. Alright, well there you go guys. The HornBlasters Conductor Special 544 Nightmare Edition. With my own little twist, of course. You know, the extra compressor, the remote drain kit, and of course my nifty little box here. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, but I've never seen it, and I think it turned out really good. I really like it, but you know, let me know what you think in the comments. And but you know, I'm really happy with this kit. I mean, what more could you want? I got a really wicked horn, definitely wake the dead. And got a really awesome onboard air system for all your tire needs, you know, fill your tires up or run little air tools, things like that. And it looks good all at the same time, so that's pretty awesome. I like it. So, yeah, definitely let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget, if you're going to order one of these kits, let me know. You know, give me a message on YouTube here. And I'll give you the name and the email address of the person to get a hold of. And when you order your kit, they'll go ahead and you know, toss in a free shirt and some decals or something like that for you, and, you know, make it worth your while. Just, yeah, let me know about that, and thanks for watching, guys. That's all I got for you, so see you later.